Interview technique is one of the most commonly used data collection methods in any kind of research in any domain. An interview is by far the most personalized and interactive ways to get information. Interviews are good when the researcher is seeking information which may be of personal nature, which can be elicited through establishing a personal rapport with the interviewee. Also, in interviews with extensive open-ended questions, interviews are the best technique because then the interviewer will personally write down or record the answers, saving the interviewee the trouble. There are three fundamental types of research interviews. That is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Let's elaborate each of these types a little more. Structured interviews are essentially verbally administered questionnaires in which a list of predetermined questions are asked with little or no variation and with no scope for follow-up questions based on what the interviewee is saying. They are relatively quick and easy to administer and are ideal for quantitative questionnaires with a lot of close-ended questions. But of course, they allow for little participant response and are of little use if depth is required. Conversely, unstructured interviews do not reflect any preconceived theories or ideas and are performed with little or no organization. Questions tend to be open-ended and discursive. Though they give depth to the information being collected, unstructured interviews can be time-consuming and difficult to manage. Semi-structured interviews consist of several key questions that help to define the areas to be exposed, but also allow the interviewer or interviewee to diverge in order to pursue an idea or response in more detail. The flexibility of such interviews helps respondents to elaborate on something they may consider important to themselves and which the interviewer may have overlooked or not thought about previously. While semi-structured interviews are the best methods to get the most out of the respondents in terms of information, they are expensive and time-consuming and are limited to a smaller geographical area and are prone to interviewer biases. Irrespective of what type of interview one is administering, the success of the interview depends on the interviewer. The interviewer's tone of questioning and demeanor are crucial to build trust and establish a personal rapport with the interviewee. It is equally important to judge the interviewee's temperament and juggle the questions accordingly so as not to put the interviewee off. It is also important that there is nothing hidden from the interviewee. If a tape recorder is being used to record the answers, then prior permission should be sought from the person being interviewed. Ethically, the interviewee must be assured of confidentiality and anonymity. But perhaps the most important rule that a researcher needs to remember in an interview is not to take the interviewees for granted and to thank them for their time and interest.